Hey everyone, it's Borg Brain coming back at you with another educational blockchain video. And this video, whoo-wee, I am really excited. And I have no promises. And I also tell you, expect chaos. Because we're covering Kusama today. And the very basics, we're going to show you how to set up an account, quote unquote, a wallet, inside of Kusama, the back-end kind of account wallet system for Kusama. It's mostly for developers, it's mostly for node runners, and the more technical types. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that will totally confuse you if you don't have some basic guides. Now, of course, Kusama Polkadot have released official guides, text, image-based, and then video-based. Bill Laboon has done some incredible, videos and guides on this. He's the technical education lead at Polkadot, or Web3 Foundation. And I've previously made some videos on setting up a wallet in Polkadot, and I think ChainX, and all of the Polkadot ecosystem accounts for this .js apps, they're essentially the same. That being said, I'm going to make a video for all of them as these projects start coming out, and more tokens are live, and especially leading up to the parachain auctions. So Kusama parachain auctions are coming soon. Polkadots are going to be a little bit away. And the thing is that everyone is talking about Polkadot, but not as many people are talking about Kusama. And Kusama is going to be a big deal pretty soon. So I just want to make sure I get this video up so you guys know how to prepare for parachain auctions, and so you know how to stake. Now, I say that, and the second, the second side of that is, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an anonymous person on the internet, and while I can say, trust me, or I can say, I'm trying to provide the best information to the best of my ability, you should take everything I take with a grain of salt, and you should always go to the official sources to find the best up-to-date information. And, basically don't just listen to me. Go out and do your own research. It's the most important thing in crypto. If you're playing around with any of this stuff, is do your own research, and if you do your own research, then you can make your own informed decisions on your financial future, which is what I highly recommend. And I highly recommend not just listening to me or any other flapping head on YouTube or crypto Twitter. If you hear someone saying, this is going to get 100x gains, well, you know what? It might get 100x gains, but you're following a shiller. Okay, and there's a high likelihood that they've bought before you, and they're just trying to get you to buy it to fatten their own bags. Okay, so just be aware of that. There's a lot of manipulation of the markets by quote-unquote influencers. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't even want any of you to know who I am. I like being anonymous. It's not because I'm up to anything sketchy. It's just I like walking down the road without people bothering me. Like, I just want to live my life, man. And the only thing I really want to influence anyone on in these videos is just promoting do your own research, because I don't think there's nearly enough of that in kind of the YouTube and crypto Twitter spheres and whatnot. So anyway, that being said, this is the Crypto Society YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm actually just one part of a larger group of people. You can come find us on Telegram and whatnot. All the links up here will be in the description, as well as links to myself and Crypto Society. So anyway, moving on. Kusama. So Kusama.network. This is their website, right? So scalable multi-chain network for radical innovation. All right, and so essentially what Kusama is, a lot of people don't understand what Kusama is, so I'm going to give you a basic explanation of what Kusama is. Okay, so Ethereum. We all know Ethereum. Ethereum is a permissionless, open source, public network, right? So anyone can find open source code, they can edit it, manipulate it, whatever. They can write their own code, they can launch anything, and no one can stop them. Okay, and so that's a powerful thing. Now, before launching it live, spending Ethereum, which is expensive, and spending gas to, say, put out a token or to do something, of course, that's in a live environment. So they have these test networks, and they launch a test network and then a test token that has no real world value, so developers can play around and launch things. Now what they found is there's two problems with full-on test networks where there's no real world value. The first problem is that when you test in a test network, you have 5 people testing something. When you test in the wild, you get 5,000 people testing something. So there's something where it comes to the ruggedness of testing and stress testing something that you can't get in a testnet. You just can't get a critical amount of people to test it. Okay? So when it comes to finding bugs and all that kind of stuff, usually developers are always they have to find it in the live network, which is not really the best for development. Okay? So the second aspect is that when you create a test network and you have a free token, for some reason, human psychology, I don't know why, but people will go out and they will just try to accumulate as much of those test tokens as possible, and then you have not enough tokens, and it creates a situation, and that's the reason why Ethereum has so many testnets, is because some testnets basically failed because people getting on with hoarding all the free tokens that don't have any value. I don't know. So to solve this, when Polkadot was designing Polkadot, they were like, okay, Polkadot is going to be this institutional, like global grade infrastructure for permissionless blockchains, and and from there we can create this relay chain so that they can all be able to talk to each other and interoperate. Brilliant idea. But then they're like, well, the problem is if we launch this, then we're going to have the system where we're going to have a test net and the problems associated with a test net, and then we're going to have a main net where there's going to be all this kind of testing going on. So then they said, well, why don't we release Kusama? So Kusama it's not a test net. What it is it's more of like an experimental development network, but it's actually a real network with real value meant to be used in the real world with real world value, real like tokens, real money. And the purpose is that if they launch Kusama, Kusama creates a more experimental environment, a more loosey-goosey kind of libertarian environment, and that's good for innovation, okay? And then they can learn, Web3 Foundation and all the projects who launch on Kusama, they're going to learn a bunch of stuff from being in Kusama, and then they're going to be able to make all the necessary adjustments. So Polkadot can make necessary adjustments based on Polkadot, based on learnings of Kusama, and then each individual project who launch on Kusama will learn things and then be able to make necessary adjustments so that when Polkadot launches and the parachains on Polkadot launches, those are going to be like ruggedly tested. But then the idea is Kusama is not just kind of for that, it's also meant to kind of evolve alongside Polkadot as a more experimental test bed where there's like basically there's less rules, essentially. There's a lower barrier to entry, there's less rules, and to create a more experimental test bed. So if you want innovation, you create a very open and free system. And then if you want really good tools that are, maybe you want more rules. If you want more robust and secure tooling, essentially. This is a very layman's terms kind of explanation of the differences between Polkadot and Kusama. But just so you know, people say, oh, Kusama's a testnet. Kusama's not a testnet, okay? There's, in a sense, it's meant for testing, but it's actually so much more than a testnet. It's real world value. It's a real world network. It's long term, like short term in some aspects. Yes, it's sort of meant as a more rugged testing bed. But really, what it is this is the place that is intended for innovation, and innovation has a lot of value. That's why we're in the blockchain space in the first place. That's why we're interested in technology, because it's innovative, right? So anyway, we come over here, we look at the old Kusama price. It's up 1.2% today. Total crypto market cap's up 2.9%. So, yeah, whatever. It's 48th in market cap overall, and as you can see here, for like 14 days, it's just been kind of crabbing sideways, more or less. On 30-day, it's done some damage. So yeah, I mean, going back to somewhere like February 15th, and where we're at March 6th. So yeah, for like 3 weeks, it's basically been crabbing sideways within about a 10 to 15% kind of range, going up and down. Now this is Kusama.subscan. If you know Ethereum and you know what Etherscan is, this is basically Etherscan for Kusama. And down here you can get all this intrinsics, blocks, whatever, and then you can look up a wallet, or you can look up a block, and you'll be able to look up in the future, look up a token or whatever that is based in Kusama. Well, actually not, because Kusama is just a relay chain. But anyway, you kind of get it, right? Like, this is basically Etherscan. Of course, Kusama itself doesn't have smart contracts enabled, the same as Polkadot. I don't know why is this here? The Kusama parachain auctions. Yeah, so the parachain auctions are coming up pretty soon. I don't know when they are exactly, but if you're interested in projects that are going to be participating in the parachain auctions at Kusama, most of them are essentially saying, okay, they need a critical amount of Kusama to be able to win the auction. And there will be an auction, there will be like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 teams and projects all vying for Kusama. So each one of them are going to try to give better incentives to people to try to get, whether they're using marketing, or they're going to be using like more free tokens than the next one, or they're going to try to convince people that our tokens are going to have greater value than the competition, or whatever. And so each project is going to try to get a critical amount of Kusama bonded. And say you have 3 projects, and they all get a bunch of Kusama bonded temporarily, and then one wins because they have the most Kusama. And so that Kusama that was staked in that node then gets bonded for either 6 months, a year and a half, or a full 2 years, depending on what the project has chosen for their parachain lease length. Okay? At the end of the lease length, you get your Kusama back. Okay? So you're just like lending it for the purposes of renting basically like a parking spot so they get a place on the network. Okay? Now, usually what most of these projects are doing is they're giving up free tokens as an incentive for this. So you bond your DOT, and if they win, then you don't have access to your DOT until the lease is up. But as a reward, you get these free tokens. And then with those free tokens, you can usually use them to stake in a network, earn passive rewards. In the case of Plasm Network here, you can stake it in dApps, and or you can sell it, or you can wait for it to go to the market. You can buy it or do whatever you want, right? But the point is that there's a kind of a value add in the cost of lost opportunity. So there's not like a monetary cost per se. There's a cost and lost opportunity. Like if you had $100 of the Kusama and you bonded it, and then you don't have access to that for a year, the token goes up and down. You can't react to the market or sell it or whatever because it pumped, or swing trade it. You don't have access to it. Now, also that value in the meantime, like you can't just say, oh well, I want to enter this other. That value is locked up. So this is just something to be cognizant of. And then, so this happened on March 4th, a couple days ago, as the recording of this video. But here we got DeFi Demo Day from the Polkadot Technical Working Group, right? And we've got Akala, we've got Centrifuge, we've got Interlay, we've got Plasm Network, Snowfork, Moonbeam, and I can't remember this one. I know, like I'm saying Sushi, but I don't think it was Sushi. Who was it? I don't even know. I can't remember what this logo came from because it kind of looks like the Sushi logo, but I don't think it's Sushi. But maybe it is Sushi because I think Sushi's doing something with Akala. But anyway, and then Fala, right? Privacy. And so each of these teams in this, you go here, watch the replay, and this is a great video talking about the technical stuff, and then each project kind of showing off sort of some of the tooling and the technical developments that they've had over the past bit in preparation for, launching live nets on Kusama and getting into the parachain auctions. Now, talking about Plasm Network, they have another crowdcast just from the other day, and this is about Shiden Network. So, Akala, if I come back here, so Akala is the name of the blockchain that's going to be on Polkadot. Plasm Network is the name of the blockchain that'll be on Polkadot. But a bunch of these, they have a different name for the network that will be on Kusama. So for Akala, it's called Karura, and for Plasm Network, it's called Shiden. Right? So you come over here and you got some people from the Plasm Network team, and then they'll talk even more in depth in this crowdcast here about Shiden Network and about preparation for the Kusama parachain auctions, the strategy, about redenomination, and like what are they doing. Highly recommended. You can come over here. Another big one is Kilt, and highly recommend Kilt here. Kilt is top. I don't know why it's so blurry here, but you got Blockchain Brad over here, as blurry as he is, and you got Ingo Ruby over here. I mean, you might have to put your glasses on. I'm wearing my glasses. I still can barely pick them out. But Ingo from Kilt and Blockchain Brad from Blockchain Brad. And I would say, listen, man, you check out Blockchain Brad because he gives incredible interviews with rad projects, and he's very worth I don't know why I'm not subscribed to him. There. And give him a thumbs up. I don't know why I haven't done that so far. Well, it's because I'm in the Crypto Society YouTube channel account right now. But Kilt, top-notch project about the future of digital identity and verified credentials. And then Blockchain Brad. He interviews and asks really poignant questions of really cool blockchain projects. But Kilt is one of the really legit projects that are being built on Kusama and Polkadot. So keep an eye out for that. And you got Akala, right? Another one of those ones. And here you got details on Karura and the parachain lease offering, trying to get a crowd loan, right? Plasm Network, they don't call it a crowd loan, they call it a lock drop. They all have different names for essentially the same thing. Kind of like if you're staking in a proof of stake network, are you delegating? Are you voting for a validator? Or are you nominating a validator? It's all the same thing essentially. It's just different words for the same things. I feel like we need global standards for some of these names so that we're not confusing everyone needlessly. And then another team. This is back from November that I think Robonomics might be the first team to publicly develop their Kusama parachain lease strategy. And here's an article. Great, I highly recommend it. Another one of those really good technical projects. And as I say it in a lot of these videos, in terms of do your own research, and I've mentioned it in other Polkadot videos, listen, here's the thing. You hear about these Polka projects, you hear about these oh, this is a project they're going to be on Polkadot. The thing is that most of the projects that talk about being a Polkadot project are not really a Polkadot project. They're actually an Ethereum-based project. They're trying to fake it till they make it. A very large amount of them are full-on scams. Okay? And if you want to know who's actually on Polkadot, it's because we're here, polkadot.js.org/apps. And it brings you here. Now we're connected to Kusama, but I'll show you. I've done this in a Polkadot video before, but check this out. So, development. This is a developer tool. Test networks, okay? What? Centrifuge, right? I think that's Nodl, right? This is Edgeware, right? Bifrost, Clover, right? Crust Networks, Doc, Dusty, that's Plasm Network, right? Encointer, they're a newer one, right? Equilibrium, right? As you go down the list, right, you see that Mandala, that's Akala, Mashnet, that's Kilt, Moonbase Alpha, that's Moonbeam, Fala, right? You go through the list and you got Sora and you got Laminar and Unique, that's going to be an NFT platform that will end up on Kusama. So who's actually developing in the test networks, right? Test relays and parachains. You come down here. Now, if they have one in the test network and here, that means they've done a lot of work, right? So, Clover, Crust, ChainX, Darwinia, right? And, Encointer, Hydrate might be Hydra DX, I'm not sure. Robonomics, Polka BTC, that's Interlay, Plasm Network, Fala, right? Akala, Litentry, they're kind of a bit newer to the dot game, but seem to be pretty serious that they're developing on substrate and connecting. And then you got your live networks, and this is anything in the live network is very serious, right? So you got Polkadot, you got Kusama, you got Centrifuge, you got Darwinia, and another Darwinia, right? ChainX, Dock, Edgeware, Equilibrium, right? And I don't really know what this one is, to be honest. You got Hydra DX, you got Kalupu, Nodal, Plasm, Subsocial. So just know when you're playing around, if you want to go into one of these networks, you just click it here, and then you click this button switch, and then this will think for a minute, and then you'll pop out, and you'll be in, what Plasm network or Akala or whatever, and then you get more or less the same kind of interface. So getting to the how to do a thing part of this video, right? If you want to prepare for Kusama parachain auctions, you can do it through a decentralized, you can do it through a centralized exchange. A centralized exchange is like, I think, Huobi, Kraken probably, definitely Binance, and I believe KuCoin. There's I think Gate.io is also doing it. They're going to offer things like, hey, you have Kusama in our centralized exchange. We're going to offer an easy window to be able to bond your tokens for a Kusama parachain auction and then get rewarded in free tokens. This is a great service that centralized exchanges offer. The caveat, not your keys, not your crypto, and if you're locking up tokens for 2 years, there's a lot can happen in a couple years, okay? Exchanges go down, people get hacked, okay? So just know if you're locking up for a 2-year parachain lease on a centralized exchange, it might be easier to do it, but there's a much greater risk. And if you come in here, you can create a self-custodied wallet, you hold your private keys, and when you set this up and the parachain auctions come, you're more likely to get a better reward. You fully control your keys, and no matter what happens to whatever centralized exchanges or anything, you're going to have much more control and much more safety and be able to sleep easier at night knowing that your value's locked up, like essentially through your own self-custody wallet. Okay? Just so you know, right? You want to know more about this, you go to the source and whatever, and you do your own research on it. But I'm just letting you know, right? Centralized exchanges always have a different level of risk than decentralized exchanges and self-custodied wallets. Decentralized exchanges and self-custodied wallets have a different layer of self-responsibility, but you often need to know a little bit more, but you figure it out. It's like riding a bike usually, and you just watch your ass and you do your own research. So you come here and say, oh, you don't have any accounts. You go add an account. Here's your mnemonic seed phrase, right? You copy it. You write this down. This is like if you don't keep this, then you're like, oh, I can't find my shit. Well, then that's too bad. Whatever you put in that account is gone. So you take this, you put it on a USB key in an encrypted file. You make 2 USB keys. You put a backup. You leave one in a shoebox at your mom's place just in case your house burns down. I mean, depending on how much value you have in here and how much that makes up of your net worth, you kind of make your own informed decisions on how much you want to back this up. But what I would say is don't tattoo this on your forehead and don't just like post this on Twitter. Because if you do, you're going to go in, you're going to be like, oh, where's my money? And it's like, well, your money's gone. So here. Basically, this is the most important bit, and in self-custody wallets, this is the whole thing's based around this. So this series of words in this exact order, you copy it, you put it in an encrypted file, whatever, back it up, but keep it safe. The safer you keep this, the safer your funds are, basically, right? So you come down here and you say, I have saved my mnemonic seed safely. Now, I'm not saving this right now because I'm just kind of showing you how to do it. But of course, save this, and so for the intents, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to click here and say I did, and then you click next, and then so you get a new account. All right. So I'm just going to call this test 8. I don't know why 8. I just decided I want it to say test 8. And then I hit a tab, and I'm just going to do A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to tab A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm telling you what my password is. You know what my seed phrase is. You could hack into this account. You could do whatever you want with it. Now, of course, you see here, it says my password's weak. Yes, the password is weak. But the thing is that this is not the password you should use. You should use a robust password with like exclamation marks and uppercase and lowercase letters. And when you make your password here, you want it to say strong. You want this bar to be green, and then you've got that extra layer of security of having a good password. But as this is a test, I'm just going to use something super basic. Because sometimes, you know what? I'm a basic ass bitch. Of course, my actual passwords are much more robust than this. So anyway, here it is. I got my address, and it says, blah blah blah. Read all this stuff, right? Don't just take my word for it. So now I'm going to save. Now check this out. Boom. Oh, what's this? A .json file. And what is it? DODGUs, right? And if you come here, test 8, check this out. It's the same thing. So a JSON file will download, all right, and it will be named the same as your wallet address, right? Now, if I need my wallet address because I need to copy it and I'm in some centralized exchange, I bought some Kusama and I want to deposit it, I can go here, copied, right? Or, or I could click the name, the question mark symbol comes up, boom, and then here, and it gives me more details. And I can just mouse over here, and I can copy it like that. Now I've got the address copied into my clipboard. I can paste it in whatever, and I can send funds into the account. As you see here, I've got some Kusama in here, and that's how I did it. Okay? Now, here's the deal. What is this JSON file? So this is how it works. Your address is linked to your mnemonic seed phrase. Those two things together, if anyone gets them, they can get into your account, they can take all your money, and there's nothing you'll ever be able to do about it to retrieve it, okay? But in practical purposes, when you just like go into the website and you go into accounts and beep, and you come in here, you have a password. Well, if I want to send Kusama tokens back and forth, or to another wallet, or to a friend, or to bond in a parachain auction or anything like that, essentially, I just need the password for transactions to do things like to nominate validators. I just need my password. You will not see your account unless your JSON file is recognized by this user interface, by the web interface. So when you clear out all your internet cookies, part of that is you clear away the arrow that connects this website to this JSON file. And you'll log in and you won't see anything in here. So how do you get it? Well, you go into your thing, you say restore JSON file is what you click when you don't see it. You go find that JSON file, and I'll just show you what it looks like right here. So you open up a viewing window or whatever, a file window. You take your JSON file, you drag and drop it right here, boom, and then it'll show up. And then you type in your password, and you click restore, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, pop, and then your account will come back here. So that's how that works. Just so you know, if you show up one day, you're like, where's my account? Your account is still there. It's on the blockchain. This website just can't see it because it doesn't see the JSON file. So what a JSON file is. A JSON file is basically like a digital key that allows this website to give you access to this in an easier way than having to put in your mnemonic phrase every time. This is an extra level of security, and this is why this, in terms of a self-custodied wallet, these .js apps are just the bee's knees when it comes to security and safety in a self-custodied wallet. This is like almost on the level of a ledger, okay? This is a far more secure system than, say, MetaMask or any of these browser extension wallets. These are far, far, far less secure than what this is, because you keep your mnemonic seed phrase written down somewhere super safe, And then what you can do is you can take your JSON file and put it on a USB key, right? So whenever you log into these things, you've got your JSON files all on a USB key. You plug in your USB key, and then the website goes, where is it? Oh, it's there on the USB key, and it finds it, and then it shows up. And then you can unplug your USB key and put it somewhere safe, and that means it's not on your desktop computer. So you're just, if someone got into your machine, they wouldn't be able to say, okay, well, where's the JSON file? And then if they can find the password, well, they can get into your account, they can send the tokens out, okay? So it's just a way of you being able to split things up into different places to make it super secure. FYI, that's what the JSON file is. So don't delete that. If you do delete it accidentally, you'll need your mnemonic phrase, that list of words, okay? And you come, where is it? You go add an account, right? And, oh, that's not it. Restore JSON? No. Anyway, there's somewhere in here. Maybe this is it? No. I don't know. Anyway, there's a way to restore accounts using your mnemonic seed phrase. But the best thing to do is you just keep your JSON file safe in one place. You keep your password safe in one place, or you memorize it. And you keep your mnemonic seed phrase in another place, and you keep that safe. And everything in here should be pretty safe. Of course, nothing in the digital realm is 100% safe. So, know what, I'm not a financial advisor. Just do your own research and be safe. Now, all this being said, part of the reason why I'm doing this video is that you got Kusama parachain auctions are coming up pretty soon, and I want to be able to give people the ability to put that information out there on how to set up a Kusama account in Polkadot.js apps in the Kusama network. Now, the other aspect of this is, and this is my I don't usually do kind of shilling. It makes me kind of uncomfortable, but this is a personal thing. Now, here's the deal. I do these videos for Crypto Society, but we're a decentralized group. So all the opinions in all these videos are mine, okay? And we all have different opinions. We don't always agree on everything, but we agree on some very important things, like decentralization is good, we agree that scammers are bad, and we agree that good information is good information, and we believe in sort of helping other people and doing that good karma stuff. That's, you're trying to help each other in opportunities. Like we'll bring each other up together. Sharing is caring. Those kinds of things. Okay? Now, while Crypto Society is a group, and I think Crypto Society is going to start running nodes and stuff too. And if and when they do, I'm going to be doing videos on it. I think Crypto Society has a node on ChainX actually. And the thing is, I recorded a video like 2 weeks ago on ChainX on doing validators, and then I put out the video because there was a hold up and the whole thing. I'm not going to go into it, but basically, I think we have a node on Kusama or on ChainX now. So I'm going to have to do another video on staking for ChainX on like this is how to stake with Crypto Society's node. You should stake with our node. But look, here's the deal. Me personally and a blood relative business partner are setting up things to run nodes. We're running a node on Plasm Network's testnet, we want to run a node on Shiden Network, and we want to run a node on Plasm Network when those get up and running. But right now, we're in the finishing stages of getting a Kusama node up and running, okay? And we'll need a critical amount of Kusama tokens staked in the node to be able to start validating blocks. But we've gotten pretty technical in terms of running this node, making it, creating a system by which we can scale this business of running nodes. I don't know where this is going to lead, but basically I'm going to have a video on staking Kusama, how to stake, and we're going to offer a very competitive rate, and we're going to offer like redundancies and securities and top performance is essentially what I want to be able to offer. So the next video I'll be doing on Kusama is going to be on nominating a validator, and I'm going to show some great validators how to choose a validator, and then I'm going to say, hey, if you feel like it, if you like the video content or you want to support me personally, then please validate, nominate our validator. We'll need Kusama in that node. But that being said, also, I'm not this guy who's just going to say everyone else sucks. When you're nominating validators, you should pick more than one, and I would say, distribute your risk, and there's lots of nodes that are really great that offer different reasons. Either really good security, or they take almost no cut of the of the block rewards. There's all sorts of different things. But anyway, the point is that's my little selfish personal shill. But as we start running nodes, I'll be doing videos on all of those systems on how to nominate validators, and if you feel like it, you can always nominate our validator node. But and if Crypto Society starts running nodes too, I'll be doing that on that. And essentially, there's always going to be lots of people to nominate, and you should always make informed decisions and do your own research, right? So even if I say, hey, our node's going to be really good, and if you feel like it, you should stake with us. Well, listen, like real talk, you shouldn't listen to anyone like me or anyone else who just says, just stake with our node, right? So I'm going to be clear. If I say, I'm running a node, here's how you stake with us, all I'm saying is, seriously, make your own decisions. It's not, I'm really not trying to convince anyone to do anything, really. I just want to be able to show options. Is essentially my thought process. But anyway, blah, 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 blah. So that's about it. I don't really have much more to go over. Here's all these great tools on how to research Kusama and Polkadot, Polkadot-based substrate-based projects. You go in here, you get that alpha, you find what's Hanani Cache, and you can Google that and try to find them, and maybe you find out going through here a project that you didn't know existed, and then, well, do they have a token out yet? Is there a private sale? And you can go from there and you can find really cool opportunities. FYI. So, a little bit of how to research, how to set up a node, what a JSON file is. I hope the video has been very informative. I hope you have a lovely day. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I just finished yesterday doing a series on Mirror Network, which will be, or Mirror Finance, which will be out by the time this video drops. I want to start doing more Polkadot.js app wallets, the similar kind of video as I've done today, more validating nominators. And yeah, I want to start spreading my wings a bit more. If you have any suggestions for videos, I'm all ears. And, I don't want to run out of ideas. And I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm a little bit bored with too much stuff in Binance Smart Chain lately, and I think I've been successful with that series. I'm going to have to do a couple more videos to finish rounding up some of that stuff. But yeah, anyway, that's it. I'm out. Peace.